Chapter 62. Sihel's transfiguration and his gloriously profound and wise speech. After this speech, Sihel became as transfigured, and all the patriarchs, including Adam, rushed to him so as to greet a, besides Abidim, so exalted guest. Also Seth, being Sihel's father, rushed to Sihel, who was his youngest and last son, grasped his hand and said to him, "My son Sihel, you who have to this hour remained a single man, never having cohabited with a woman, unwilling to lay and give us all a living seed out of you, so that I then became angry with you and exiled you towards midday. How will you now forgive me this great sin which I, a poor blind father, have committed against you? What are Enos and the whole ancestral line compared to you alone? O Jehovah, O you most holy Abidim, why did this poor father's eyes have to be opened so late? Yes, truly, I could become demented because I did not recognize you, Sihel, earlier. Oh, do forgive me. Forgive me and come back to me, and let me nevertheless call you my son where the body is concerned. Yet not my will, but the will of the Most High Abidim, as well as yours, be done. Amen. When Sihel heard his father Seth thus lament before him, he came back from his great reminiscences, took courage, and said to the father Seth, "O dear father Seth, do not worry about that. Surely I shall not ever overthrow the Most Holy Father's order. And it was his exceedingly holy order which allowed that this my body, which I have been carrying around on this earth for several hundred years, was begotten by you. For what reason should you now no longer be allowed to be its father? Oh, do remain anyway what you have always been to me, namely, my dear father, in the name of him who had begotten us all from eternity, and whose children we had been even before all the visible things were made. For behold, we all begin here a new life for the sake of the one who fell of his own free will. Therefore, what we are, or rather were, according to our spirit, is anyway unimportant in relation to this earthly life. Thus, you are my father Seth, and I am your son. And thus let everybody else be completely unconcerned on my account. Since the eternal, most holy Father already shows himself to us and all others, eating and drinking with us, talking to us like a wise brother to another, and teaching us all the great secret art of how to take from him life eternal, although we all, and the whole endless creation, are nothing compared to him. What distinction, then, should we make between us, having all come forth in the same manner through his almighty will out of his love? Whether I am a created primordial angel spirit, or one who went forth from this very same love at a later time, what difference does it make to us before God? Since God, out of his eternal order and endless wisdom, has willed it that I did not become your father, but you became mine, Why should I now fancy myself superior to you, because the most loving, Holy Father, in his mild and exceedingly friendly manner, has shown me my surely exalted spiritual primordial state? Oh, my dear Father Seth, this be far from me and from us all. Only he is holy, but we are all his children, whom he loves immensely, provided they are as they should be. If they deviate from his holy ways, he meets them with his endless and unlimited mercy, and to the obdurate he metes out his judgment, whether towards life or towards whatever kind of death. This only he knows. However, since we are all his children, let us remain in his most holy name also faithful to the conditions in which he had put us for 3 moments onto this earth. Since there will anyway soon be an end to this earthly life, he will long ago have taken care of the new conditions we will then face. As far as the return to your house is, or may be concerned, that, like everything else, we leave to him who is holy, exceedingly holy, and now amongst us. Only one thing I feel free now to demand of all of you strictly, namely, that for the sake of his own eternal salvation and life, none of you ever dare show me any ever so little veneration, because the Most Holy Father called me his brother. For you all know anyway to whom alone all honour, all praise, all glory, and all worship is due. To us all, however, let this be the greatest glorification, that we glorify the holiest Father through the most faithful fulfilment of his holiest will. Therefore I demand of you that you look upon me as nothing more than old Sihel. Amen. And also to you, dear brother Gabriel, I say in the name of him who is close beside me to promptly rise from the ground, for I am only a man like you. We both have Seth as our father. Why do you do to me what is due to God alone? Listen, a man shall not ever wallow in the dust before men. And in the future, the person whose selfish heart will bear even for a moment to see a brother in the dust before him, shall be guilty of the greatest sin in the eyes of God. Behold, dear brother, you have never offended me. Therefore, I, in turn, have nothing to forgive you, but have only to give you my brotherly heart, which is open to love. But if there is something which oppresses your heart, behold, there, beside us is standing he to whom we are all indebted. So just turn to him. He will certainly free you from your burden and set free your troubled heart. Amen.